Hi, my name is Melissa Simmons, and I work at Education First Credit Union, and I'm here today with Blessing, who won our 2021 scholarship competition, and she's also a recent high school graduate.
Hello, my name is Blessing. I'm a recent graduate from Bishop Hurley High School, and I got a full ride to The Ohio State University, and I will be majoring in religious studies on a pre-med track.
And today we're going to talk about how to pay for college. So we all know that paying for college can be super challenging, it can be really expensive, but there are a lot of financial resources out there for you, and some you might not know about. So today we're going to break it all down, and we're going to go step by step on the best way to pay for college that makes the most financial sense. And Blessing, as a student, is going to share her experience along the way. So the first step when you are wanting to pay for college is fill out your FAFSA form. And FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid, and that is a form sent out by the federal government, and it's your ticket to financial aid. So you can't get any financial aid without filling out your FAFSA. And Blessing, do you remember filling out your
Yeah,
FAFSA form?
I actually filled out my FAFSA exactly on October 1st when it opens up, and I did it at like 12 in the morning, literally October 1st. And I remember it's kind of a long process, but especially if your parents have like the IRS tool, it helps it go way faster. So I definitely recommend doing it as soon as it comes out.
Right.
It's definitely worthwhile.
Yeah, it is time sensitive because a lot of federal aid is first come, first serve. So you want to do it as soon as possible. Don't wait until the last minute. And even if you think you're not going to apply for any financial aid, you still want to fill out your FAFSA because a lot of private scholarships, they'll still require the FAFSA. So fill it out regardless if you think you qualify or not. And we'll include a link below that you can click on that will take you to the federal website where you can fill it out online.
And I highly recommend having like a FAFSA party. Like, do it with friends because it really helps. Like, I did it with like 3 friends and it went by super fast. So yeah,
that's a good tip.
Yeah, like literally that helped a lot.
So after you fill out your FAFSA, the second step is to apply for scholarships. So after you fill out your FAFSA, you can now send that into different scholarships, federal and private scholarships. Some may not require it, but a lot do. And you want to start searching early. Don't wait until the end of the school year because, again, a lot of it's first come, first serve. Blessing has a lot of experience with scholarships. She won Education First 2021 scholarship. So what was your experience like with scholarships?
Honestly, I would say scholarships are kind of overwhelming, and I would kind of say plan accordingly. The easier routes I would say to do on time would be like the no essay ones. Do those every month at the beginning of the month. You can find those anywhere. If you just Google search no essay scholarships, I would say do those always every month. They are a raffle, but they're still very helpful. You never know. And then second, I would try to do about like 2 to 3 like essay heavy scholarships per month just to keep a flow going, still not feeling overwhelmed but still putting yourself out there. And then shoot for big and small. A lot of the big ones have like a lot of recognition, a lot of people apply, so it's usually those smaller ones that you're more likely to get in. So kind of shoot for those more, but still the big ones, definitely go for those too.
That's a lot of good advice.
Yeah.
What did you use to search for scholarships? Did you just Google it or did you use a search engine?
So some I would Google search, and then others I would go ahead and I would just go to like Nitro or College Board or bowl.org and stuff like that. And those ones have like lists, and you can even search by category by like your race, your ethnicity, your grades, SAT, ACT score. And it's really easy to find things that fit for you. And your library, they like have like big scholarship books, and you can look through them and kind of find scholarships that fit you.
We'll include some of those links below, so then you can just click on them and look for scholarships too. But that's really good advice. Now, grants. A lot of people overlook grants, kind of along with scholarships. So after you're applying for your grants or your scholarships, you want to look into grant programs, which are more need-based rather than merit-based. So your FAFSA is going to be key here because it's going to let you know if you qualify for federal grants or not. The federal grants are called Pell Grants. And once you fill out your FAFSA, you'll find out how much you qualify for, and then you can go ahead and apply for those. And you have some Pell Grants, right?
Yes.
How was that experience?
The Pell Grants, most of them did come through FAFSA, and I didn't actually like have to do any work, especially like through FAFSA. They will already like give you some, especially if you do it really early. So I know when I got my financial aid from most of my schools, they already had like a list of my Pell Grants already administered, and they were about the same amount of money for all of them. They didn't really change based on school. So yeah.
Awesome. So don't overlook grants. Along with your scholarships, look for grants too. The next step is finding an affordable school. So there's a lot of private four-year colleges out there that are out of state that might have a lot of qualities that you are looking for, but they're going to be so much more expensive long term. And remember, like any money you take out as a loan, you're going to have to eventually pay back. So look into those community colleges and in-state schools and technical schools. You don't even have to go the full 4 years, but you could start out at a community school and then transfer later to another school. It's going to save you a lot of money. If you could stay at home and live at home for a couple years, that's going to also save you a lot of money as well. So, Blessing, you're going to an in-state school.
Yes.
Did you look at any out-of-state schools or private schools?
Yeah, I looked at private schools, out-of-state schools, and in-state schools. I honestly did not want to stay in-state, but when you look at the pricing, it's so drastic, the difference. And honestly, you can become anything anywhere. Like, sometimes prestige really doesn't matter. I know my parents were really strong on, like, prestige. They wanted, like, big Ivies and stuff like that, and it's just, like, that's not really affordable, or, like, kind of, it's not relatable sometimes, or even possible. So honestly, you can become anything anywhere. And I would just say find a school that fits you, has what you want, and you can really find a home anywhere. But definitely recommend in-state schools because the tuition difference is like drastic. You
Yes.
wouldn't believe it. Like, oh my gosh.
And you can always do a semester abroad, or you can move after you graduate.
Right.
The 4 years will go by really fast. You'll be surprised. I know you're like anxious probably to move out of state right away, but it will cost so much more than staying in state. If you do find a private institution you really like, and if they offer you enough financial aid that it would be the same price as in-state, then that's something to consider.
Right,
then.
yeah, for sure.
So our next step is work-study programs. So a lot of college students have a second job, a part-time job when they're in school, but not a lot of students look for jobs in their school. And if you get a job in your school, a lot of those jobs offer additional financial aid. So you want to look into maybe working at the library or in one of the buildings at your school. Did you look into work-study programs at all?
Yeah, I did look into work-study programs at first, and honestly, getting work-study programs are really beneficial. A lot of my family members do like library gym, and like while you're working, you can still study. You can still have time to, like, if you're working at the library, for instance, you can check out books while on the job. My cousin, for instance, he works at the gym, so all he has to do is help people sign in. So like when people are not coming in, he's studying, writing down stuff, and then all he has to do is look up and say hi. So those are really beneficial where you're not like doing so much work, but you're still making money and helping yourself out.
Yeah, and you're still on campus, so
Right.
you're close to your classes. You can maybe work 2 hours and have a class in between your work schedule too. So the next step is savings. So when you're in high school, if you have a part-time job or if you can't, try to start saving, and you can get some goals and look ahead to college and try to save what you can to help out and pay for college once you're there. Is that what you've done?
Yeah, I started like when I was a freshman, because that's like when you really start to peep that like, wow, college is coming, it's going to be expensive. I don't even think I actually realized the cost until I actually started getting letters back. So I even wish I started even before high school. So even if it's just like a little bit, like $20, $5
Right.
every month, it doesn't have to be like a full $100 or anything like that. Just little, and you'll see that it like grows. And by the time you're done, you have something, even if it's to buy books or dorm stuff, that's really
Right.
helpful.
Yeah, a little bit adds up. Even just to pay for your books would be a great thing. So the last step is loans. So unfortunately, most people are going to have to take out loans to go to college, but you definitely want to look into government loans with the federal government rather than private loans. So try to get government loans because they do offer income-sensitive payments once you graduate. There's a little more leeway there. Usually the interest rate is much lower. If you do have to go private loans, shop around first. Don't just go with the first private loan that you see. You want to try to get the lowest possible interest rate, and you want to look for that they have some leeway for students when they graduate, so you don't have to repay it right away. Maybe they offer some flexible payment plans or some income-sensitive payment plans. And so have you had to take out any loans, Blessing?
No, I didn't have to take out any loans.
She is lucky.
Yeah.
I had to take out some loans when I was in school.
Yeah, I was like super scared about loans because it's really scary when you start like crunching numbers and seeing like in 5 years, because some start building interest while you're in college, and it's just
Right.
like, what's going on?
Right.
So I definitely tried not to get loans.
Uh-huh.
I'm super grateful to not have any loans.
But remember, if you do have to get loans, try to get them with the government, and then they will have a low interest rate, and they will work with you, and the interest won't accumulate while you're in school. Private loans, that's a whole different matter. So only do that as an absolute last resort. So thank you for watching our video, How to Pay for College. We'll have all the links down below that will help you look for some of these scholarships and your FAFSA form. And join us for our next video on the top 5 things that you need to do to prepare for college.
Yep.